Hey there, welcome back to Diagonal Move. My name's Neil, and today we're going to take a look at a game that I absolutely love, to be perfectly honest. It's a game that, if ever there was a top 10 list of games you love but never get to play for whatever reason, this would probably top mine. I believe really the game is not played more in my own group because my group do prefer less directly confrontational games, and as Adrenaline is a recreation of a first-person shooter deathmatch battle royale type video game, it's perhaps not surprising this isn't played more. Base game plays 3 to 5 players. With the expansion, you can play 2 to 6. However, today we're going to look at the solo game. Czech Games Edition, the publisher, did publish on Board Game Geek, I think I saw it originally, a official free to download solo variant for the game, which has been long awaited as far as I'm concerned. Okay, before we start, it is a game with a lot of different icons and so on, a lot of different weaponry and what have you. And so every now and again, I may just check the rulebook to make sure I have something exactly correct in terms of what the icons mean. The game is pretty straightforward to play. There's only really 3 actions in the game that are modified at various points through the game, depending on how injured you are and depending on what weapons you have. In the solo game, the setup is very similar to the usual game, and if you've not played it before, I'll try and explain as much as I can as we go through. However, the difference really is you're not aiming to get victory points, you're aiming to kill once each of these 3 other characters, and you need to do that before they kill you twice. So it's a proper deathmatch scenario. The solo mode is compatible with most of the characters and most of the character weapons. I think it's just the Sprog, is it, the lizard character, that you can't easily play with the solo mode. But today I'm just going to use Echo here from the expansion as a means to keep track of whose turn it is. Okay, so I think that's everything. Player setup is very similar to the setup in the main game. You basically just choose one of these power-up cards to keep, which is a benefit, and one to determine where you're going to start. You have a few ammo cubes that you need for your weapons at the start. The main difference really, as you might expect, is the AI. And the AI is run using the power-up cards. And essentially these power-up cards are a program. And depending on which card you have taken out of the sequence at the top and placed into the AI, placed it onto their board there, that will determine what they do. And each one of these power-up cards has an action for the AI, which we'll go through as they happen. Should you damage a spawn point, so if you've not played it before, that's one of these kind of areas where you start the game and pick up weapons, then the leftmost ammo card or a power-up card of that colour is flipped. And then if the program goes into the AI space, it actually acts as an additional damage for the AI. And in a 3 versus 1 scenario, that's quite important to keep on top of those programs as they run through. When the deck cycles through, you just replace it. Okay, so the characters start in their colour. In the solo mode, they're just known as red bot, blue bot, and yellow bot, although violet is still violet. And away we go. So I will play the Newton card as my starting location and keep the teleporter card. And in the solo game, there are 3 phases. Basically, first thing you do is you program the bots, which simply means take these cards and place them in the ammo area of the 3 robots. Then you take a turn, and then the bots take a turn. And as with the main game, you have 3 actions. You either move, grab stuff, or shoot things. And there are changes that occur as you become more injured and so on and so forth, and you get your adrenaline actions kick in, which are enhanced versions of those actions. Right, okay, so my first action then is going to be to grab a weapon. The weapons are loaded if they're the ammo in the top left corner here. The weapons are loaded if they have the grey brackets around, which you may not be able to see on this card, and unloaded if they haven't. So this one's partially loaded. So in order to get this weapon and load it, I would need to pay just a yellow cube. To reload it at a later stage, I would need to pay both those cubes unless it has gone back onto the weapons rack. So first action then, take and load that weapon. Okay, my second action is going to be to, I think I'll use the teleportation effect of the plasma gun, which allows me to move 1 or 2 spaces, and then I'll shoot the character, the yellow character. Okay, so I'll move and I'll shoot. And if you've never played it before, the way you shoot is you simply place the required number of these blood drop markers onto the player board of the person you shot at. Okay. Right then. It is now the bot's turn. Okay, first thing to do is replace these. I should have actually done that at the start of my turn, but no harm done, as in it didn't really affect a spawn point in this round. Okay, so the first thing that's going to happen is Violet, or the red bot, is going to take the Newton action. And in the solo mode, each one of these actions has a different effect. And in this effect, it simply says, move the bot 2 spaces up to 2 squares closer to you in a straight line, and then if it can see you, it shoots you. Other way around, it moves me up to 2 spaces in a straight line, and if it can see me, it shoots me. Now, with adrenaline, the line of sight rules are interesting in the sense that if you're standing next to a door, you can see an entire room. So even though I'm here, I need a towel there. Even though I'm here, I can actually see all of that room. However, so I'm kind of peeking my nose around the door, if you like. However, Violet, because she's not next to the door, cannot see me. So at the moment then, I did not get any damage. And now it is Bluebot's turn, who also has a Newton. And moves me 2 spaces in a straight line as well. So exact same thing. Can't see me, so doesn't do any damage. However, if this robot was here, then it would. It takes a bit of getting used to that rule, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward. And finally, the yellow bot does a tag back grenade action. And the tag back grenade moves itself 1 space closer to you, and then if it sees you, it does 2 damage. So I've already moved it from the spawn point. Probably should have waited till I've moved the camera, but it can't see me because it cannot see around that corner. And that is the end of the robot's turn, which is pretty good, really. I haven't taken any damage. I think that's probably the first time that's happened on the first turn. Okay, now we refill the weapons, end of round, tidy up and so on, and then it's my go again. So, first thing we need to do, after you've knocked the camera, the first thing you need to do is load or program the AI, where there is a choice of cards for the same colour. You simply choose the one that's on the leftmost space. If ever you have a situation where there is no card for the robot in the robot's colour, so for example the red one, you'd get what they call the garbled code, which is the flipped over reverse, and that would cause damage. Now, first thing I need to do is, I don't have any ammo to reload my plasma gun, so I either need to take a weapon I can fire, or I need to grab stuff to be able to fire the plasma gun. Of course, it's not reloaded at the moment, so it's going to be a case of grab stuff and grab a weapon, probably. What's cheap? Oh well, I don't like any of these weapons. These weapons all require movement spaces and restrictions, or they're lots of ammo and so on. That's not bad. Oh gosh, I don't like any of those. So let's move one, grab the ammo. So I've moved from there to here, grab the ammo, and I will then, difficult to say, I will move to, which will at least put me out of frame again. Part of the trouble with this board is it's so big for my table. At least now I can grab another weapon. Start of my turn with luck. So that's the end of the go. The bot's turn. We have a targeting scope for Violet, the red bot, and the targeting scope moves one space closer to me, and if it can see me, it shoots, which it can't at the moment, so that's cool. Blue bot then, who is still sat basically on the spawn point, has a targeting scope, and again moves one space close to me. Now they can see me, and so this time they give me 2 damage. So I take 2 blood drops in the blue colour and place them on my board. As you, particularly if you've never played Adrenaline before, as you move up the boards, you have these extra actions, and they are enhancements to your base actions. When you reach this point, you are dead. If you reach this point, not only are you dead, but you've been what's known as overkilled, and so you can add a revenge token, so to speak, on the person who shot you. In this case, though, I have only taken 2 so far, so no other effects from that, and it is the yellow bot's turn. And yellow bot has a teleporter, and quite simply what that does is the bot teleports itself from where it's sitting into your space, and it hits you for 1 damage. So at the end of that turn, which is only turn 2, I have taken not far off a third of the damage needed to kill me for that first time. Wow, we really do need to get cracking with some of these garbled code programs. Anyway, end of that round, I will reload my plasma gun. the marking glue there. Need to refill any ammo, which we've done. Okay, then it's my, knocked it again, then it's my turn. So I am next to some quite neat weapons, but before I can do that, I do need to reprogram the bots, which is back up the top there. Now, when you have multiple cards for one character, you simply choose the leftmost, as I mentioned, of that colour. However, when you have a robot that does not have its own colour, you program the other bots before you program them without a colour, and so essentially violet this turn, or red bot, is suffering from bad programming, which is good for us. But what we could really do is giving some bad programming to yellow bot and blue bot. Both of whom are going to do us some damage this turn if we're not careful. Okay, so my first turn. A cyber blade would be pretty neat, because you can, for an extra cube of damage, you can hit two spaces and move. Let's check what order, anything particular about that weapon. Okay, yeah, with the extra cube, you can actually use that weapon on two different spaces and step between spaces. Unfortunately, it's quite expensive to load. And I can't reload it without grabbing stuff first. We also have a couple of fire weapons, which is always cool. In the context of the game, of course. And I think what I'll do is I will grab the flamethrower, because it's the cheapest to load, and I've got plenty of red cubes at the moment. Anyone wondering what this symbol means? I will explain it more when we come up to it, but that means it marks the target. It's stored damage, in essence. But anyway, let's grab this flamethrower, which is ready to go. That's action number 1. Action number 2. Action number 2 is going to need to do some damage. I'll play my teleport to teleport to a new space. So that is now done. And I will move away from Yellowbot, and I will play the flamethrower with its basic effect to do 1 damage to the first target and another damage to a second different target, which in this instance is going to be 1 damage on Yellowbot and a damage on the spawn point. So the first of those cards is going to be flipped. Of the yellow card is going to be flipped. And that is the end of my turn. Okay. So, Violet's turn. Violet has garbled code. And so basically what happens with the garbled code is it gives itself 1 damage. So we just simply take one of its colours and cause some damage. Then we move over to Bluebot, or Banshee as the character is known. And Banshee has Tag Back Grenade. And the Tag Back Grenade moves me one closer to it, and then does me 2 damage. Ouch. Ouch. And then finally, the yellow bot has a targeting scope, and yellow bot is standing right next to me again, and that will basically, it will move one step closer to me and then give me some damage. So now in the same space and does some damage. Okay. And that's the end of that turn. The end of round cleanup, I can reload, which I will do for my flamethrower. So my flamethrower is now loaded. I need to refill the weapon, which we've now got a lightning cannon. Excellent. Might be worth trying to get hold of the lightning cannon. That can shoot multiple targets, which is kind of cool. And now we need to program the robots. But before we do that, I just need to check one thing. Yeah, even though there is a garbled code, we still take the first matching colour. So all of these robots this turn do have an action, which is going to be problematic because if you look at my player board, I already got halfway to my first damage. Both my adrenaline actions are unlocked. That means I can now move 2 spaces and pick stuff up, and move 1 space and then shoot. The bots do not have the same rule. So even though Yellow Bot has a adrenaline action unlocked, it follows the bot rules from the base game in the sense of it takes the second adrenaline action before it gets any benefit. And to be honest, these things are hard enough to kill, so that's actually kind of cool. Right, so let's think about what we're going to do. The flamethrower I can't use on my own space, so ideally I want to be one out of the way. What I could do is I could shoot. I can't shoot this guy. I can't shoot Yellow Bot. I can shoot Blue Bot and damage the blue space, which would hopefully next turn give it some garbled code. So let's do that. And I've got ammo to spare. So let's do that. So it's 1 point of damage to Banshee, and then 1 garbled code in that blue colour. Okay, second action. Second action is going to be, I'm going to have to move and pick stuff up, I think. So let's grab, I can move 2 spaces and pick stuff. Yellow would be helpful because both my weapons require yellow to one extent or another. But I could do with some blue. I can't get all the way over there, sadly. So let's pick up this card, this one here, because that will give me a power-up card of my own. So we'll take a yellow and a red cube, place it into our ammo on the side there, just there, if you can see that, and then I will grab a power-up of my own, and we've got another teleporter, which is awesome. So now on to On to Violet's turn. Violet has a tag back grenade, which is going to... I wish I could remember these. It's going to move one space closer to me. Oh, I should be here. It's going to move one space closer to me, and then it's going to do me a damage. A damage and a mark. I'm not sure if I did that before, but I don't think I did, but nevertheless, now's as good a time as any to talk about marks. If you've never played this before, what will happen is you get one damage from the shot that the weapon did to you, and then the mark will sit here. And the next time that character shoots me, will get the damage from the future weapon plus the save damage. So essentially, the next time Violet damages or Redbot damages me, I will take at least 2 damage. You can only ever have a maximum of 3 stored up here. Wow, okay. I really am... This is going to be a quick game. Right. Okay. Bluebot also has a tag back grenade, which will move one closer to me, do me 1 damage and another mark. I am now just 3 hits away from death, or at least the first death. I think the last time I played this, I think I killed 1 character and damaged 1 other, but the 3rd character didn't have a scratch on them. Okay, finally the yellow bot, who is standing next to Banshee, has a tag back grenade also. So the same thing. The bot will move towards me, do a damage and do a mark. And that's me dropping things. Okay, no more marks, but at least no more marks. Okay, so refresh anything that needs refreshing, which in this case is just that ammo tile. Oh man, I wish I picked up some of those damage the area you're on spaces, weapons. Right, I need to reload, so I'll reload my flamethrower for 1 red cube and reprogram the bots. Ah, cool, we're in an interesting situation now because the robots, both blue bot and yellow bot, are damaged. So this turn we are going to get off lightly compared to recent turns. When these cards run out, you simply just refresh them from the discards. Okay, so my go. If I had 2 yellow cubes, I could perform a more powerful flamethrower. I don't have 2 yellow cubes at the moment. Right. Interesting. If I damage the blue spawn point, this one would be receiving garble code next turn as well, which might give us a bit of leeway. Okay. Let's do that. Let's use our adrenaline action to move 2 spaces. Don't want to do that. Because if I do that, I then can't shoot this one and that. Not a good idea. Just checking the exact sequence for the plasma gun. Okay, yeah, the plasma gun needs to pay a blue cube to do an additional damage, but I believe it's to the same target. So let's just use the plasma gun, which will give 2 damage to somebody, and I'll use that to move 1 because I have my adrenaline action unlocked. I will shoot Violet because she's the only one who's not going to get damaged this turn. And then I will move 2 and pick up some stuff. And again, I'm moving 2 because of the adrenaline action that's unlocked. I'm trying to keep out of the way of Violet this turn if I can. I could use the teleport. I have a teleport power up, and I think I will use the teleport power up in order to move over to the far corner. I do need to collect a new power up card and also a red and blue cube for picking up that ammo from a moment ago. That's everything. I just need to move Violet, who's got a tag black grenade again. Who moves 1 square closer to me. She can't see me, so there's no damage done, so that's quite handy. The other 2 both receive garbled code, and so we put 1 damage onto their player boards. And I just use the same colour as the player so that I know which is garbled code and which is actual damage, because you cannot do a final kill shot using garbled code. You have to actually cause the damage yourself. Let's discard these. Refill everything. I will reload that plasma gun. I have the correct ammunition now, and just the 1 ammo storage to refill. I'll shuffle up the power-ups. Okay, and replenish the board. Okay. Just checking the hand limit, it's completely escaped me in terms of the hand limit for the weapons. What was it? Weapons, 3 weapons. Fantastic, 3 weapons. That means I can take the grenade launcher as my first action, which is awesome. So let's take the Helion grenade launcher. I can't okay, that's 2 grab stuff actions, so 1 that gives me 2 yellow cubes. No, that's terrible. That's terrible. Because then oh dear. If I tell you that, I then can't shoot it. Wow. let's grab stuff. Excuse me, the 2 yellow cubes anyway, and then let's just move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. We're now across the other side of the room and hopefully out of the way of the bots this turn. Okay, targeting scope for Violet, which moves 1 step closer to me, cannot see me. Same thing for Banshee. So that's those 2 with no effect. The yellow bot Destructor, he has a mutant, and it moves me 2 squares closer. It can see me because it's standing next to the door, so it pokes its head around the corner, as it were, and gives me 1 damage, which sadly, for my game at least, will do me a damage. There is additional damage from the previous mark, and I am dead. Okay, so the bots have killed me for the first time. 1 more death and that will be the end. But for now, what will happen is I will simply respawn, so the damage comes off. The marks stay, so there should be a blue one now if I recall correctly. And then we carry on, and I do the same things before. I draw a parrot card, and that tells me where I'm going to respawn. I don't believe there's anything special for the fact that it is the fact that it's the solo game. I think you just respawn as you are normally. Yeah, we just respawn as before with a teleport, so I'm going to actually respawn exactly where I am. Okay, so that's respawn. Top of my head, we keep all of the weapons that we had before. That's the same, I think. Yeah, basically the only thing that changes is that you don't give out any victory points. Normally in the main game, if you've not played it before, the game's won on victory points, and you get points based on how much damage you've done to the person who dies. Almost an area of control, but however in this you don't. You simply win or lose through killing or being killed, which sounds like very, very family friendly, doesn't it? Right. Just need to refill the ammo, which I forgot to do earlier. Okay, and yeah, then we're good to go. Let's program the bots. Right, I still have the 2 guns. I can pick up another weapon, which I might do, because this power glove allows me to move into a space and deal damage, but only to one character. All 3 are in the same space. If we had something like if we had a, oops, gone out of focus. If we had a grenade launcher or something, I could launch a grenade. What I might do is I might move and then use this. I have the ammo, so let's do that. So first action is simply going to be to move, and then I'll have to shoot. Because I died, I do not have my adrenaline actions unlocked now. So it's going to be a case of action 1. Action 2 is to shoot, and I'll do 2 damage to each of those 3 characters in that space, and it would help if you could see the characters. There we go. So I've moved 2 damage onto each of these 3 characters, and I feel like I've had some revenge. Although it is quite expensive in terms of ammo reloading and the probability that I'm going to get shot next turn. But anyway, let's go. So, we have a Newton for Violet, pulls me 1 space, does me 1 damage. Doesn't have its adrenaline actions unlocked yet, so just the 1 damage. The blue bot has a teleporter which will move it to my square. It's already on my square, and then it will give me 1 damage. This one does have both its adrenaline actions unlocked, so that's one damage and 1 mark. Wow. So what's going to happen there? I already have a mark from Bluebot, so I'm going to get the 1 damage plus the mark plus the additional mark. And then Targeting Scope from Yellowbot is going to give me 2 damage and a mark. Wow, okay, storing up the death already. Okay, and already my 2 adrenaline actions are unlocked in the space of one turn. As always with these playthroughs, please don't take it as a strategy guide. You'll likely be disappointed. Right, let's replenish everything. So I will reload my flamethrower. Nothing else needs adding or replacing, so let's program the bots. I don't have, although my flamethrower is reloaded, I don't have 2 yellow cubes. I could, what I could do is I could take that ammo cube with the 2 cubes on and then move and shoot, but that's going to be the same situation as before, where I suddenly take a whole pile of damage as a result of being very, very close. Okay, similar plan though. Let's grab that stuff, get our 2 yellow cubes, and then let's move and shoot like I said, but then we'll play our teleporter to escape. So let's move back, flamethrower as before, so 2 damage onto each of them, which is rapidly increasing their damage actually. Now all 3 of them have both adrenaline actions unlocked, and I have actually run out of blood drops, so what I'm going to have to do is just run over and find another character's blood drops in order to be able to add more blood drops next turn. So, teleport. Must use a teleport card, and I will teleport away from where I am into a further place, and the best place I think, given that one of them does have a teleporter, Violet has a teleporter, the others don't, I think the best place is going to actually be here, even though it's not far away, because they will move me and then they will shoot, and they'll be able to see into this room and into this room. Ouch. That's gonna be a painful round. I have a suspicion I may not survive this round. Oh dear. Okay. Anyway, targeting scope for Violet moves me 1 square closer and then gives me 2 damage. So 1 square closer to here. But she cannot see me yet. So no damage. A teleporter for Banshee. So the Banshee moves to me and gives me 1 damage. And a mark because she has both her adrenaline actions unlocked. And then finally, Yellow Bot uses a targeting scope. Which will move me 1 space closer and gives me 2 damage. So he moves to me. Cannot see me. So I escape the 2 damage, which is actually quite handy. I really struggle. I would have really struggled. Okay. So, end of round cleanup. I will reload my weapon, so my flamethrower is now reloaded. However, I didn't pay that last turn, so that's been paid now. Flamethrower's reloaded. Any ammo tiles are replaced, just the one in the white rune. Okay. Program the bots. You really have to try to shoot those spawn points as much as you can. Unfortunately, I really haven't done that this turn. I'm giving out strategy advice without following it myself. Not sure if that's a hallmark of a good general. Right. Okay. My turn. I don't have any power-ups, but both guns are loaded. Okay, let's move 1, grab that, which will give me a power-up card, tag back grenade, and a yellow cube and a red cube, and then I want to do enough damage to somebody to actually eliminate them. At least one of these robots before they do it to me. Point of pride, possibly. I think I should just move 3. And I'm out of the way. As best I can be. So, Violet has a targeting scope, which moves... It's 1 space closer to me, does me 2 damage. Plus a mark, because all of their adrenaline actions are unloaded. Sorry, unlocked. The robot does already have a mark. Wow. So, I am very close to being eliminated. Tag back grenade, targeting scope, sorry. Oh, another targeting scope, okay. So the blue bot moves to me, can't see me, that's a relief. And then the tag back grenade for yellow moves, it's 1 space closer to me, can see me, so it does 1 damage. 1, again, it helps you can see the board, 1 damage and 1 mark. And I am dead. And that, everybody, is the end of our game of adrenaline. I got been killed twice. As soon as you take your second one of these skulls in the solo game, you are eliminated. And the AI has won. Okay. Wow, I didn't kill a single robot, but I came close to doing all three. If you look at the final board there, I didn't do too badly if you think about it in terms of overall damage. So I thoroughly enjoy Adrenaline Solo. It's a nice interpretation of the game. Solo. It does keep most of the rules the same. You can add in the character weapons and so on if you have the expansion. I haven't tried that myself. I don't know them well enough really to show on screen. But I think that'll probably be the next thing I try with it. With the game is to try it with those character weapons and so on. The DLC, or as they call it, the DLC expansion is on Board Game Geek, or at least it was a couple of months ago when I first got hold of it. It's a great game. I hope you've enjoyed this playthrough. Wobbly camera and misplaced camera aside, I hope you've enjoyed it. I've been Neil from diagonalmove.com. See you next time.